Howdy doodly, everybody. It's that time of that year again where this 20-something-year-old man starts to talk to you for an indiscriminate amount of time for a topic that he honestly just wants to do by himself. And essentially, I'm going to sit in this room and talk to myself about something that I have been not grappling with, though the redness in my eyes and the stuffiness in my nose assumes that I have been struggling. I've not. It's nothing super hard pressed, but I think it is a lesson that I kind of want to get out there, kind of just for myself. And who knows, maybe this will help someone else. Now, of course, I've talked to a couple people recently about this, due to the nature of me still like offering advice and coaching to people who want it. This is in particular to Valorant, but I think that this message will just go all the way out into the ether, or not the ether, but like this will go out to anything that you do. Doesn't have to be gaming related, could be quite literally anything you do in your life. So the topic for today is I really just had a Winter Soldier episode. Holy moly, sorry about that. I actually did just go into like a zone zone defense. What the fuck? Sorry about that. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about misaligning interest with secondary goals. And what that means, just the bare bones Carfax here, is if we want to get better at something, this is in regards to improving at the thing you want to improve at. If you want to get better, directly looking at the route of improvement isn't necessarily the best way to go about things. In my own personal experience and the experience of some of the people I've coached, it's found to be more negative because one, you're putting some standard or expectation upon you when you're doing something. That can be literally anything. Who knows how like strict you are in terms of how well you perform. So now you have this performance strictness to you because the game or the thing that you're trying to do isn't about enjoying that. It's about, and we'll just stick to Valorant. This will just be an easy slam dunk if I just keep it pertained to Valorant. This is just the thing I can teach better. If you are gaming in Valorant to try to improve, you will slow your process down. Improvement will come naturally if you allow yourself to enjoy the game and be naturally curious about it because you love the game. So, for example, instead of in the game, you're always thinking about what mistakes you're making, what's the correct play, what's the incorrect play. What I found is what brings you joy in this game, do that, and then kind of explores like, oh, I lost this fight. Very interesting. How was the opponent shooting? How was I moving? This is very interesting. Like, what led him to having a good, or them, it doesn't matter. What allowed my opponent the ability to kill me, or how fast can the opponent go? What util did they use? It's like, well, that's an interesting use of that flash. Oh, why is he doing that? And that sort of curiosity will carry over. Yeah, you can intentionally improve with the mindset of, yeah, I'm just going to sit down and improve, but you don't necessarily have to do that. And even still, I think that in the long con, that natural curiosity and just willing to play the game, you will get better. There's no routine in the world that'll get you to the point where you want to be. And living proof is literally any pro that's talked about their journey. Most of them say just play the game. And I can tell you with a high level of certainty that they're not doing like routine-based plans. They're not trying to min-max optimize their settings, which of course, yeah, that makes sense. He who enjoys the process will beat he who works really hard. I really think that that is true, and it sticks with me a lot. But let's take Oxy, for example. In his many people were very, very, what's the word? Pedantic about the methods that Oxy used to get to Radiant and then get to a pro level. According to him, he played the game a lot, and that was it. And he just kind of kept in mind, like, what's a good fight, what's a bad fight. And he used that to get the Radiant, and then he was taught the rest as he went on. Which kind of hit people with a little bit of a you know? And people are asking, well, how do you do that? And of course, a pro player's intuition is just always going to be better than their actual game knowledge. So what he said is like, you just got to know. You just got to have to find the feeling, which is true. At the end of the day, if you want to reach the highest level, you have to have that level of intuition. And I personally think, and I could be wrong, like Oxy can go on Twitter right now and say like, oh, I hate Valorant. I didn't like this game. I forced myself to get good at it, which could be true, but I definitely don't think so. What I think happened is he actually really, really loved the game. And he loved it so much that he would think about it constantly. And because he was thinking about it, things would happen in his head where his natural curiosity would ring. He's like, well, why did I lose that fight? Like, actually. And instead of it being like him judging himself over the game, it was him coming to the realization that, oh, well, this is probably something I can try. Let's test this. Okay, well, when they do this, I'll do that. And when they do this, I'll do that. And continue doing that throughout multiple games, like just a bizarre amount of numbers. Eventually, you'll be good at it, right? Because you're invested. This guy is like super into the game. It's not that he's locked in. I don't think that is necessarily true. I don't think he's locked in 24/7 when he plays the game. That's just unrealistic. But when he needs to focus, he's focused. And when he doesn't need to focus, he's laid back and enjoying the process. And so I really believe, and I really do subscribe to the belief that improvement will come tangentially with intentional curiosity instead of like structured practice, which goes against literally every part of my coaching formula for the past however so many long years. And it's crazy to think that some random idea pops into my head and it just kind of upheavals my entire belief on my entire coaching belief. And so I'm going to try to translate that into the things that I do. Just anything. Let genuine enjoyment. Obviously, there are times where you kind of just have to suck it up and deal with the struggle, so to speak. But I think like if you genuinely enjoy something, like those struggling days, you'll be more willing to fight through because you actually like the thing. And I want to be the person who like loves doing what he does, and even when things get hard, I find a reason to keep going. Let's say I'll just rip the band-aid off. Let's say art. Let's just say art. And let's say, as the example, I want to get good at art. And so the first thing I need to do is just draw. Just seriously, just draw, engage with it, see what happens, right? You don't get better unless you do the thing. And then of course, like I'll look at the drawings and be like, well, what's wrong about this? What don't I like about this? What can I change about this? What do I need to learn? And now this natural curiosity, it's not I need to improve my drawing, it's well, I want to fix this. I want this to look really good. How do I get to that point? And my initial goal is to stay engaged with the thing that I'm doing. The thing is art. I'm not trying to watch YouTube like tutorials, which could be learning, which is true. It could be learning, but that's not it. Like I don't want to learn how to improve at art. I want to get through the process of doing it myself, so to speak. Not that I'm gonna do art. I'll rip the band-aid off right now. I'm probably not gonna. But for anything that comes after, of course, right, is like the idea. And then and then, good God, you could tell this isn't scripted. I'm just like a perpetual run-on sentence. Sorry for the slight tangent. I think there's also some key to not being afraid of failure that's really important. That kind of keeps you accountable to yourself. Those are words that probably don't mean anything, actually. How do I want to phrase this? To myself. I need to not be afraid of failure so that I can get out of this like cycle of, well, what's the fastest way to improve? How do I do this the quickest? How do I min-max? What is the optimized way? And the optimized way was 3 years ago when I went down the rabbit hole of trying to find the optimized way. Like, I'm never going to find it. There's not going to be the perfect way. It doesn't fucking exist. It's not real. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's never going to be real. It's a pipe dream. It's a fantasy. You're delusional. What I need to do is just do the thing. Okay? Just do the thing. And then look at it. Work with it. Engage with the thing that you're doing. And then, oh, I failed. But failure is growth. Failure is learning. Struggling is learning. It's growth. Those are the points where, okay, I have to do the extra work to translate the fun part of it into like a better art form, so to speak. Same thing with like, we'll go back to Valorant. I'm going to be all over the place because I'm in a really weird spot. So in Valorant, instead of just like learning a ton of lineups and stuff like that, you see a couple ever so often. You're like, oh, that's cool. And I can use that a lot. Wait, okay, hold on a minute. This is nice. Because like, you're not going to be prepared to use every single scenario, but if you find yourself in scenarios, it'd be cool to find a dart. It's like, well, I do this a lot. Yeah, this is a cool Sova dart. Like, I'm A main Haven. Yeah, I know that lineup. And then like, oh wait, there's another lineup from the boxes in A main when I have ult. It's like, oh, this is nice. I like this. But of course, that can also be to like rotation timings or pushing out, being ready for fights, like what fights are good, and like any sort of thing that comes up in the game, you can put under the guise of curiosity instead of like having to be right or wrong. I'm just like rambling at this point, but I really do believe that for myself, that has to be something I take with me. Like, being okay with failure, being super willing to just drop the improvement arc and just engage with what I wanted to do. Because naturally, I believe you'll get better as you engage with the thing. But you got to be willing to be bad at the start and make mistakes and learn from them. You could choose to not learn from your mistakes, by the way. You can just like put your head in the sand and be like, as a matter of fact, no. But I think that it's important that you do learn from them. And I've made probably a ton of mistakes just today. Like in my own life, I probably made a ton of mistakes that I hope to correct. And so I think that this is a good video for you, for myself. I hope that in the future you look back at this and you go like, okay, he had a point. And I'm glad I kind of listened to the words that I'm saying, to what I actually believe, and how accountable that I'm going to hold myself to my own words. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.